Erythritol alert, sugar substitutes hidden link to brain damage and stroke risk. Hold on a second, what if that healthy, sugar-free snack you're enjoying could actually be messing with your brain cells? That's the startling claim coming from recent scientific research, and it's got people rethinking their dietary choices. Let's dive into this eye-opening study that links a popular sugar substitute to potential health risks, and I'll walk you through it step by step in a way that's easy to grasp, even if you're new to this topic. Erythritol is everywhere these days, popping up in all sorts of foods designed for folks watching their weight or managing conditions like diabetes. Think about those guilt-free ice creams, protein bars that fit into a keto lifestyle, or even bubbly sodas labeled as sugar-free. It's become a go-to sweetener because it tastes sweet without packing on the calories or spiking your blood sugar. But here's where it gets controversial. New evidence suggests that this seemingly harmless alternative might not be as safe as we thought, potentially increasing the risk of serious issues like strokes. This research comes from scientists at the University of Colorado Boulder, and it was published in the Journal of Applied Physiology. The lead researcher, Christopher DeSouza, who heads up the Integrative Vascular Biology Lab, pointed out that many non-nutritive sweeteners, the kind that don't provide nutrients, have been marketed as safe, but they're starting to show some downsides. Erythritol itself has been around since it got the green light from the FDA back in 2001. It's made by fermenting corn, which makes it sound pretty natural, and it's prized for being super low in calories, almost zero, while still delivering about 80% of the sweetness of regular sugar. That makes it a favorite for people on diets aimed at shedding pounds or keeping blood sugar steady, like those following low-carb plans. But recent studies are raising red flags. One big investigation involving over 4,000 people in the US and Europe found a troubling pattern. Individuals with higher levels of erythritol in their blood were much more likely to experience a heart attack or stroke in the following 3 years. This caught the attention of DeSouza and his team, including graduate student Auburn Berry, who decided to dig deeper into why this might be happening. In their lab experiments, they exposed human cells that line the blood vessels in the brain to an amount of erythritol similar to what you'd find in a typical sugar-free drink, and they did this for just 3 hours. What they saw was a cascade of changes that could spell trouble. For starters, the cells produced less nitric oxide, that's a key molecule that helps blood vessels relax and widen, ensuring smooth blood flow, kind of like how a deep breath can ease tension in your muscles. On the flip side, there was an uptick in endothelin-1, a protein that does the opposite by narrowing blood vessels, which can increase pressure and reduce circulation. And this is the part most people miss. When these cells were tested with a substance that promotes clotting, like thrombin, their ability to produce TPA, a natural defender that breaks down clots, was significantly weakened. To top it off, the cells generated more reactive oxygen species, or free radicals, which are unstable molecules that can cause cellular damage and inflammation, accelerating aging and contributing to various diseases. Imagine free radicals as tiny troublemakers that rust metal or spoil food. In your body, they can harm tissues over time. So, why might this ramp up the risk of a stroke? Well, if your blood vessels are tighter and your body's clot-busting mechanisms aren't working as well, it creates a perfect storm for blockages that could cut off blood supply to the brain. Berry explained that their findings show not just a possible link, but how erythritol could be contributing to this danger. And remember, they used only a single serving size in their tests. If someone is consuming multiple servings daily, say, through various diet products, the effects could be even more pronounced. That said, the researchers are quick to note that this was a controlled lab study on cells, not a full-scale trial with people, so we need larger, long-term studies to confirm these results in real-world scenarios. Still, DeSouza suggests that it might be wise for consumers to pay closer attention to food labels, scanning for erythritol or other sugar alcohols to make informed choices about their intake. And this is where things get really debatable. While this research highlights potential risks, some experts argue that the benefits of sugar substitutes for weight management and diabetes control might outweigh the concerns, at least for now. What do you think? Should we be cutting back on erythritol right away, or is this just another case of science evolving and we need more data before panicking? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Share whether you've switched to these sweeteners and if this changes your perspective. The truth about erythritol: brain cell damage and stroke risks. Widely used sugar alternative discovered to damage brain cells and elevate stroke danger. From ketogenic desserts to diet beverages to low-carb snack bars, erythritol has become ubiquitous in our food supply over the past several decades. However, Groundbreaking research from University of Colorado Boulder reveals this common sweetener and food additive carries significant health risks, negatively affecting brain cells in multiple ways that may heighten stroke vulnerability. The findings appear in the Journal of Applied Physiology. Our investigation contributes to mounting evidence that these supposedly harmless non-nutritive sweeteners might actually carry substantial health consequences, explained lead researcher Christopher De Souza, professor of integrative physiology and head of the Integrative Vascular Biology Laboratory. Erythritol, a sugar alcohol typically manufactured through corn fermentation, received FDA approval in 2001 and now appears in hundreds of food products. Its appeal stems from providing virtually no calories while delivering about 80% of table sugar's sweetness without significantly affecting insulin levels, making it particularly attractive to those managing weight, blood sugar, or carbohydrate intake. But here's where it gets concerning. Scientific investigations have recently begun uncovering its potential dangers. A major study tracking 4,000 individuals across America and Europe discovered that people with elevated erythritol levels in their bloodstream faced significantly higher odds of experiencing heart attacks or strokes within 3 years. Intrigued by these alarming associations, De Souza and graduate student Auburn Berry, the study's first author, designed experiments to uncover the biological mechanisms behind this increased risk. Their team exposed human brain blood vessel cells to erythritol concentrations equivalent to those found in a typical sugar-free drink for just 3 hours. The results were striking. Treated cells underwent multiple harmful changes. They produced substantially less nitric oxide, which normally helps blood vessels relax and widen, while increasing production of endothelin-1, a protein that causes blood vessels to narrow. Additionally, when challenged with thrombin, a clot-forming compound, the cell's natural ability to produce TPA, a substance that dissolves blood clots, was dramatically reduced. The erythritol-exposed cells also generated more free radicals, or reactive oxygen species, ROS, which can damage cells, accelerate aging, and promote inflammation. Looking at the broader implications, when your blood vessels are more constricted and your body's ability to dissolve clots is compromised, your stroke risk naturally increases, Berry explained. Our research not only confirms this connection but demonstrates precisely how erythritol may contribute to elevated stroke risk. De Souza emphasized that their study examined effects from just a single serving of the sweetener. For individuals consuming multiple erythritol-containing products daily, the health impact could potentially be more severe. The researchers acknowledge their work was conducted in laboratory cell cultures and that larger human studies are necessary to fully understand the risks. Nevertheless, De Souza advises consumers to carefully examine product labels, watching for erythritol or sugar alcohol among the ingredients. Considering both the population study that motivated our research and our cellular findings, we believe consumers would be wise to monitor their intake of non-nutritive sweeteners like erythritol, he cautioned. Do you think food manufacturers should be required to provide more prominent warnings about sweeteners like erythritol? Or is this just another case of overblown health concerns? Share your thoughts in the comments below, especially if you regularly consume products containing this sweetener.